Today we're talking about similar polygons, and so the term is similar polygons, and they are polygons that have the same shape, but they're different sizes. So maybe you've seen a small triangle and then a big triangle, and if we say that these are similar to each other, then that sort of means that they're proportional to each other, but they are not everything is always equal. So just remember, if they are similar to each other, then their angles are going to be equal to each other. Well, if I could spell. Equal to each other. Their sides are going to be proportional to each other. So their side lengths, we're talking about the lengths there of each side. But their angles, even though, think about, you put something on a copy machine and you enlarge it or you make it or reduce it, you're not changing those angles of anything. You're just changing the lengths of the sides, but it's still all proportional to each other. Okay, so we're going to use the figures below to answer the questions that follow. So remember, if this is the symbol, this symbol is the one that we use to say two things are similar to each other. And remember, I think we've talked about in another video about something being congruent. Congruent also has that equal sign underneath it, which means they are the same shape and the same size, so everything about them are equal to each other. But these are just similar. So we would say angle A here would be similar to this angle X. So the angles are equal to each other. And so remember, this is that congruent sign, that they are congruent because they are the exact same. But then if we say this is line BC, so this is line BC right here, and it would be proportional to which line on our other triangle? Well, it's going to be the one that's in the same spot, Y to Z. And so we would write that Y, Z, with a line over it, showing it's the line. So angle B would be congruent to which angle? Let's draw two lines here. So then we'll say it's congruent to this one up here. So angle Y. Line AB then is going to be congruent to X, Y. Angle C should be congruent to angle Z. So you just kind of look at these and sort of decide which, setting them up the same. And that's not too hard to sort of say which sides are equal or proportional to each other. Just make sure you've got your shapes set up the same. So line CA would be proportional to ZX. Okay, so in the second example, if the quadrilaterals below are similar, then what must be true about their angles? Well, we know the angles all have to be equal to each other. And when we do that, we could say here angle A would be congruent to, and if it's got one line here, you're looking for the one that's got one line over here, which is on the other quadrilateral. It's going to be angle E. Then you look for the one that has two, so that's B. So angle B then is congruent, and maybe that should be the word I use here since that's congruent to angle F. Put that up here too. Okay, angle C should be congruent to angle G, and angle D would be congruent to angle H. So what about the sides? What do we say about the sides? The sides should be proportional to each other. So AB should be proportional to EF. And BC would be proportional to FG. CD would be proportional to GH. And AD would be proportional to EH. So hopefully you can see that. Okay. If triangle LMN is similar to triangle RST, what must be true? Well, again, I think we've talked before about how those positions matter. So angle L would have to be congruent to angle R. So I don't even have to draw these out if I didn't want to, but we could draw a triangle and just label it LMN. And then just make sure when I draw RST, I put those letters in the same order that I put the LMN. So again, our angles here, angle L is congruent to angle R, angle M is congruent to angle S, angle N is congruent to angle T. And we can say the same things about the sides. Remember, we didn't even have to draw these because we can just look at the order. So side LM, and if I just look at the side over here, would be proportional to side RS. And so we can make all of these MN is proportional to ST, NL is proportional to TR. And we could write more if we wanted to. We could also say, let's see, L to, yeah, we have all those. Okay. A very important term to know when talking about similar polygons is what's included. Okay, an angle is included between two sides, and a side is said to be included between the two angles. And what we mean by that is that it needs to all sort of touch. Okay, so when angles are included between AB and BC, all right, so I'm going to draw a line here. Here's AB, and here's BC. So what's the one angle that both of those are touching? Well, it's angle B, right? It's going to be this one right here. So that angle is included between those two lines. So they all have to be what's touching. So we're going to say angle B. All right, so which side is included between angle E and angle D? Well, let's go to a different color. If we have angle E here, and we have angle D right here, okay, well, what side do both of those touch? Well, the only one they both touch is this one, and that is labeled as ED. So which angle is included between line AE and AB. So here's that AB again. Well, the angle that's included is angle A. So the one that touches both, whichever one they're talking about. And also notice on example A here, where we said it was between, what's between AB and BC? Well, what's the one letter that they both have in common is B. What's the one letter that they have in common down here is A, so that's going to be that angle. So that can also help you. Okay. Use the figure below to answer the questions about the following. So name the angle that's included between AM and MC. Well, it's going to be angle M, and just notice that angle M, that's the common letter that they have too. Name the side that's included between angle A. All right, let's go to a different color. Angle A and angle M. What side is that? Well, it's going to be this one. That's the one that they're both touching. A to M. Name the side that's included between angle A. Here's angle A. And then angle C. Well, the one that's included between those is AC. Hopefully that's not too tough to do or too tough to see there, and you'll be able to get through that homework pretty fast.